Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Nolan Soldahl, back with just another little thought. This morning, I've been kind of thinking about how we often seem to think that we have total control over our emotions. And I'm going to say there's some truth to that. We often have the choice to choose how we feel. And I know this is contradictory to what we say in culture, right? Well, I just feel that way. I feel like I love them, or I feel this anger right now, so I need to express it. I feel it, so it needs to be expressed, which is often not the case. And what's even more fascinating is that God will give us new desires, new feelings, even when we choose to follow Him. So if you're a believer of Jesus, you're going to get this new sense of emotional understanding in situations that you've never had before. For example, when I yesterday was going to an interview, right? I had to go to an interview and get assessed and whatnot. I didn't get the assessment in the way that I was hoping. Just kind of like a driver's license test. You want to pass, you hope to pass. And I know when I did my driver's license test, I was angry afterwards. I was annoyed, I was bitter. But after this assessment, it was done in such a way that I was not worried. I was not concerned if the overall outcome wasn't what I wanted, but in fact what I needed, right? And I think this is a new kind of idea that goes against culture, and I'm sure it's been thought of before, but it's new to me in my life, and so I feel like maybe it'd be new to you. I think it may be new to you, right? And so when we think about emotional understanding, and when we think about what God's role is, He gives us new emotions and situations. For example, the fruits of the Spirit, love is the first one. And afterwards you get joy, and then peace, and then patience. Those are all emotional, situational kind of things going on there. There's moments where you're just waiting in line, or you're in traffic and you're just impatient, right? But with God, He gives us patience. And even in those moments when we're impatient and we're annoyed, He gives us peace and joy. And all of a sudden you start thinking, wow, you love everybody else around you. They're just doing what they gotta do. You start empathizing with them because you're feeling what they're feeling. And next thing you know, you're no longer annoyed by being in traffic anymore, but you're rather thinking, wow, there's a lot of people here that all need to know how to live life better. There's a bunch of people here that I'm sitting in this long line of cars with that all need to know how to be patient. And it's not that you were impatient at first, it's that you were maybe just needing that impatience to get to where you are now, you know? And there's ways to choose how to be. So this is the other factor of that. You can choose to be impatient in that moment, or you can first just rely on God and say, oh yeah, right, God tells me He'll give me new desires. So God, in this moment, I don't want patience. Jesus, I need something more. I give me something else. I don't want this negative emotion, and He'll give it to you because it's in His will, right? Now that's a totally different concept, totally different video, and I can get into that later, but it's His desire for us to be loving, right? For everyone. And that means God's going to give you new ways to live. And He may be still putting you in situations where you struggle with patience, for example. You now have to emotionally rely on God to deal with those things. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. You can ask me questions down in the comment section below. You can also message me on Twitter, Snapchat, and Facebook. I've got those 3 platforms that I also remind people this video is up on. So yeah, please do. And again, love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, listening, all that jazz.